this is Lauren Broom, your instructor with Space Coast Pool School. And now that we've calculated volume for a constant slope rectangular pool, now let's look at, in the real world, what the typical type of pool you might be seeing. Because there's going to be different types of shapes and depths in the pool, and you may have to break your pool into multiple pieces when you're calculating volume, and then add those volumes together. So let's go ahead and take a look at this concept. This is going to be calculating volume of a rectangular multi-depth pool. It's the same formula where, again, area is that length times the width times average depth times 7.5. But we have a constant slope pool connected to a diving well. So we're going to want to convert and split these two parts into two pools and calculate those volumes separately. So let's go ahead and read our question below and walk ourselves through the steps. Your pool measures 28 yards long by 50 feet wide. The deep end length is 10 yards. The deep end is a constant depth of 14 feet in depth, and the shallow end slopes from 3 to 10 feet. What is the volume in gallons? As we said earlier, we need to convert and split this pool into two pieces based on the depth ranges. So we're going to split the pool into the shallow end and the deep end. And we're going to cut it right through right here. So the first thing we need to do is we got to convert the yards into feet that we have for our length. But we also got to be able to split this into two pieces as well. So we know that the total length of the entire pool is 28 yards. And we're given that the deep end length is 10 yards. So from here to here is 10 yards. And then the whole length is 28 yards. So we need to get the length from here to here for this part of the pool. So we're going to take the 28 yards minus the 10 yards, and that gives us 18 yards. So from here to here is 18 yards. Now we're going to want to convert our shallow end length of 18 yards and multiply that by 3 to get how many feet it is, which is 54 feet. And then we're going to calculate our deep end length of 10 yards times 3, which will give us 30 feet. Now we're going to actually calculate the volume for the shallow end first. So we're going to call this our VS, or shallow end volume. And of course, our formula is going to be length times width times average depth times 7.5. And if you went back to what we originally calculated, the shallow end length was at 54 feet that we had converted, times our width, which our width is 50 feet, times our average depth. We're going to have to calculate our average depth here. Our average depth for the shallow end will be the 10 plus 3 divided by 2 again, which is going to be 13 divided by 2, which is going to give you 6.5. So that's going to go right here. So 6.5 times your 7.5. And we're going to get a volume here in the shallow end of 131,625 gallons. So this is our shallow end volume. Now we're going to do the volume of our deep end, which again is length times width times average depth times the 7.5. Our length of that deep end had been that 10 yards that we converted to feet, and it was 30 feet, times our width, which is 50, times, if you went back to the problem, it gave you the depth, the entire depth, which would be the average depth of 14 feet for the diving well. That goes there, times the 7.5. Now you just multiply all this out, and you get 157,500 gallons. And now all we have to do is add this volume and this volume together. So our V total is going to be VS plus our VB. So it's going to be 131,625 plus 157,500. And you should get an answer of 289,125 gallons.